depending on where the seats are, $20,000. So this idea that some sort of a form or fashion similar to PSL, that has been happening. Anybody that signed up for season tickets recently knows exactly what I'm talking about there. People are asking, how will long-term season ticket holders be handled? Impossible for us to answer that right now. The Chiefs may not even know the answer yet. I have no idea.
At some point, they'll have those answers for you, but honestly, they're not going to answer all the hard questions today necessarily. And I told you, one of the biggest questions I'd say is how Clark Hunt answers the question of, you have constantly said that Arrowhead is a magical place and you want to protect it, and now you're not going to. So outside the business end, how did you eventually come to the decision to let go of something you have called your father's legacy for a long time? And that's a really difficult question to answer if you're Clark Hunt. And I'm sure he'll have that prepared. But
my guess is
that comes with stuff. That comes with tough parts, you know?
My guess, some of that will also be, they'll say that they, whether you agree with them, I'm just telling you, like they will probably say, well, we tried. We had a public vote 2 Aprils ago, and it failed. Now we've gone through and talked about the issues with the renovation plan and all that. But that would be probably one of the first things you would mention there.
Yeah, I would think so. Again, they had it's tough because it's obviously not that they didn't have opportunities to keep him in Missouri, and I would say continued opportunities. They've had to keep them in the Missouri side that just didn't come to fruition for a variety of reasons. Not one thing is probably the sole reason why, but the Chiefs are heading to Kansas. The question will still be about the Royals and what their continued plan is, because it seemed like all of their momentum was going to the 119th-ish side. I know there's some like areas around there that maybe they'd consider instead. And then maybe that was going to take place. But I mean, Clark Hunt, Mark Donovan, the entire team is there. They're all wearing red ties. They're in a closed session to obviously approve this. And then at 3 o'clock, Laura Kelly is going to make the big announcement that says it's official. You'll see reporting before that. Like, because there are people in the State House that will get word of
the vote. The plans are going to be approved before you even have the press conference. I mean, that's obvious with the way the timeline is set up today. We don't know how long this executive session is going to take place there with the Legislative Coordinating Council in Topeka. Whether it's another half hour, whether it's longer, we don't know. But we'll know if it's finalized before we even get to the 3 o'clock press conference. I don't know if it'll happen before we're off the air. It might happen right when CDOT hops on the air. We're not sure, but that's where things are at right now in Topeka and with the Chiefs front. On the Royals side, you said it though, Cody. With all the stuff that was said, with all the stuff that has been said on Friday from Mayor Lucas and then Phil Lavoda, who's the interim Jackson County commissioner, or I guess just the Jackson County commissioner at this point, executive, I'm sorry, at this point, would this make it more likely, in your opinion, that if you're the state of Missouri, that you are losing an NFL team, you're losing an NFL team, you have on the eastern side of the state, of course, the Cardinals and the Blues, you've got an MLS franchise there, of course, on the Kansas City side of the state line, or side of the state, you've got the KC Current, and you would still have the Royals presently. Does that make it more likely that you try to figure out a way to make sure you don't lose both teams and that the KC Mo side of things still has a professional sports league for one of the big three?
Whatever happened to what the mayor was saying about there's ways to fund this without a public vote? Because they're still not saying that even about the Chiefs. Lavote is still saying we'd need a vote. And that's the inevitable. This is why I think they're both going to Kansas. And like, I take issue, I guess I take, not offense, but like, Texans saying, I can't believe this entire station's lining up to say this is okay. Again, I think we've been very clear on our stance. I didn't want them to renovate Arrowhead. I thought the renovation plan for Arrowhead was ass. And I thought it was sunk cost to try to fix that building because I thought it had issues that in the long term would not play to turn it into the Lambeau-type site, partially because you straight up can't develop that area, and they've admitted it. So, like, it never made sense to me keep there. I wanted downtown baseball. Still want downtown baseball. You want to know the issues? I think there's pros and cons to both of it. I am going to very much dislike if the Chiefs choose dome and do not even give themselves, and I think they are, and not even give them clearly. And not even give themselves a chance at any kind of open air, actual outside element. I think that kind of sucks, honestly. But do I think that the stadium site and all this stuff isn't going to work? No, I think it's fine with it. I'm going to really dislike if the Royals end up at 119th, because that is not the vision that they sold and not the vision I think works best for baseball. But also, I'm sure the stadium side will be kind of cool when you go there, right? I think, do I think the stadium's going to not be fun to go to, Gold? Probably not. But that doesn't matter where they would have put it. That wouldn't matter if it was Missouri or Kansas or anywhere else in between. I imagine if they'd build a new stadium on the site of the Truman Sports Complex, something that was never going to happen, by the way. I bet the stadium would have been cool, Gold. Like, some part of this is just the reality of I am still glad it's staying in the city. Like, in the Kansas City metro area.
I mean,
I think that's all
I don't know if, look, there is a good chunk of people that are happy and there's a good chunk of people that are upset, right? It's split. I don't know if it's like the denial phase or the coping phase or whatever it is. I mean, there's people like this stuff that just doesn't actually happen when a move happens. Like people are like, are the Chiefs going to have to pay a relocation fee to the NFL? No, they're staying in the metro area. Someone else says, are you guys going to, maybe you guys will lose your jobs and they'll have to find a new radio station since they're no longer in Missouri. Can we not be stupid for a second, please? Can we just calm down and not act like we're idiots? They're in the Kansas City metro area still, whether they're in Missouri or Kansas. Insert a bunch of texts coming my way. But like, what are we talking about?
I don't know.
Mitch Holthus is still calling the damn games. The games are still on this station. Patrick Mahomes is still the quarterback next season.
Are the jerseys still red?
The jerseys are still the same. They're not. They're still the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not the Bonner Springs Chiefs. What are we doing?
I don't mean to like. I'm not like. I think you guys know me well enough. This is not like a call for unity. Guys, can we just hold hands and agree to get along? This is just like, sometimes it surprises me when you get into these. Even though I have lived on the Missouri side most of my life, I largely consider Kansas City as a metro area like most major metropolitan areas do. So like, Gold.
Also, spoiler, our station located in Kansas.
You live
our studio is in Kansas.
You live in Overland Park. If somebody's like, hey, where does Gold live? I'd say Kansas. Now, if they say where in Kansas City, I'm happy to break it down for you. Spec, do you technically live in Kansas City, Missouri?
No, Parkville.
Parkville, Missouri. I live in Gladstone, Missouri.
Yep.
You live in Overland Park, Kansas. Now, look, I spent a huge chunk of my life living in Kansas City, Missouri. I view it no different. Like, it is a metro area.
Where are you from? Kansas City.
Like, I don't know. Like, and again, it's not like a call for unity, but like, I thought we all just kind of agreed. And look, I think everyone draws a different invisible line. Like, where I think KCK is like the far enough apart where, like, if you live in Liberty, Missouri, you're like, I don't know. And if you live in Platte City, you're like, I don't think so. And if you live in Olathe, you probably look at someone in Platte City and you're like, I'm not sure that's Kansas City anymore. And you're like, fine. There's like a stretch in point in which you want to like draw an invisible line and try to like argue it. But for the most part, we're all just Kansas Cityans. Can we just agree that it's like we're close? Like, they're not leaving the state. They didn't take the St. Louis Rams and move them to LA.
Well, they are leaving the state. They're not leaving the metro. They are leaving the state.
Fine. But not leaving the state in the way that those teams did. They're not relocating the team. They are jumping a line. An invisible line, mind you, but they're jumping a line. But it's not, I don't know. It's just like, for me, you can still have issues with big parts.
Totally. And there are
and you can still be sad if you're in Missouri that they're losing the team.
And there are major.
You should be.
There are major ramifications economically for KC Mo by losing one team, let alone if they were to lose two. I mean, that's not something that should be ignored. It's just this idea that like everything we know the Chiefs currently, that all of that is just going away, and that now they're just going to be some random franchise with no fans and stuff. Is just some of you literally are going to drive an extra 2 minutes. Some of you on the Missouri side is actually closer still. Like someone put out a map today.
You're on the north side because you can take.
Somebody put out a map. It's like 16 miles
closer.
16 miles northwest from Union Station, and Arrowhead is 10 miles like south or something. Or Union Station is 10 miles south of Arrowhead. Meaning we're talking about for some people from Union Station a 6 mile difference.
The one thing on football, and this is why I've always been more okay with football being on the Kansas side than baseball, or this notion that it is, and like the idea that like. I always kind of like the idea of the Chiefs being on the Kansas side and the Royals being on the Missouri side, because then it's like both sides of the state line are footing the bill, right? It was like appealing to me that like, you know what? We're all having to pay the freight together. Is that football to me, no matter how you do it, and you guys have been going to football games a long time in the city, no matter how you do it is an all-day affair. I cannot get out of going to a Chiefs game in less than an 8-hour time commitment no matter what I do. If we include getting there, tailgating, waiting to leave, going to the physical game, meeting up with the group. That is an 8-hour day. I got to put in a work day to go to a Chiefs game. I have to accept that is an 8-hour workday to go to a Chiefs game. Like, so for me, let's say if it is an additional 10 minutes, because it probably is an additional 10 minutes for me to get out to Legends instead of where I currently live to go out to there. I don't feel like the 10 minutes makes any difference. I got to go there. I'm committing 8 hours. The 20 minutes doesn't do anything. Baseball, again, totally different conversation. We will have that conversation when the time comes for the Chiefs and when that time does occur, or for the Royals when it occurs. But it's just like, but again, going back to Missouri, like, you should be pissed. If you're a Chiefs fan who lives on the Missouri side and you wanted them to stay in Missouri, you are rightfully allowed to be pissed that they let it go.
Of course. At whoever you want. The voters of Jackson County, Mayor Q, the state legislature, place your blame. Clark Hunt, if you just want to blame the family for taking the team away from you, you can be as mad as many or as few people as you want from letting the team get away. That is a reasoned response if you're a Missourian today who wanted the team to stay in Missouri. Yeah, I'm not expecting you to be excited about it. I just think there's the extreme end of it as well, and that's what's that's kind of crazy. Someone says you guys haven't brought up the Kansas City will be losing all the 1% earnings tax. Again, KC Mo, serious financial repercussions. Absolutely.
Yeah. They also don't have to pay for the upkeep or the insurances or the things they're doing. It's not just like $300 million in the 1% sales tax they get from everybody goes away. There's expenses that come with having a team too. So like, it's not a 1-for-1, but yeah, they're going to have to, the downtown core part and the stuff that is going to hurt Kansas City and like the other areas, because downtown is downtown and the gathering places of cities will still be the gathering places of cities. Football's been moving out to the suburbs for a while. Boston, it's 45 minutes outside of town. Chicago's entertaining it. For Dallas, it's 45 minutes. It's just not, for football, this has been a really common occurrence for a while. So I guess I'm less surprised by it.
All right, coming up next, we'll get to what's trending. We'll keep an eye on the meeting that is taking place in Topeka right now, which is expected to vote on a finalized stadium finance package that would send the Chiefs over to Kansas. Don't forget Monday's football coverage presented by Busey Bank, where they're focused on your success. At Busey Bank, they've been building business and growing wealth since 1868. Learn more at buseybank.com. So we'll get to what's trending. We'll talk more on the stadium front right here on 96.5 The Fan.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Hey, Missouri, if you haven't heard by now, good news. FanDuel Sportsbook is live in the Show Me State, and they're kicking things off with an offer that's tough to beat. Right now, new customers in Missouri can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or more, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. So download FanDuel today and head to FanDuel.com/Missouri and join the excitement. Remember, new Missouri customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. Because Missouri, it's time to play your game of FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
What matters to you matters to us. That's why Busey Bank takes the time to understand your goals and build solutions that fit your story. From everyday banking to long-term planning, our team is here to help you navigate every stage with care and expertise. We're more than a bank. We're your neighbor, your advisor, and your advocate. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, and I'm here to tell you Rob Sight Ford is closing in on a record-setting year, and they're doing whatever it takes to get there.
That's right, Kevin. We're pulling out all the stops to finish the year strong. 0% for up to 66 months on most Ford models, including F-150s, Escapes, Explorers, Super Duties, and Transits. Top dollar trade-ins and pricing other dealers won't match.
If you've been waiting for the moment to buy, this is it. We've got the vehicles. We've got the deals. We just need one thing, you behind the wheel.
Impeccable rhyme, Kevin. But hey, this is simple, upfront, and easy, and it all ends January 5th.
Kansas City's only top-rated Ford dealer on Google, 4.8 stars, nearly 3,000 reviews, and voted best car dealership in Kansas City by Kansas City Magazine. And now we're going for the finish line. Rob Sight Ford. Buy right with Rob Sight.
135th and State Line or ROBSIGHT.com. You want inventory, you want price, you want more for your trade. Let's make it happen.
End the year in a Ford before this event drives off.
Home remodeling shouldn't be stressful. Hey, it's Bob Fesco, and West Shore Home is proving it doesn't have to be. With real-time scheduling and precision scan-to-plan accuracy, they make your remodel fast, easy, and convenient. That's why hundreds of thousands of homeowners have trusted West Shore Home to transform their bathroom, windows, and doors. Plus, right now, when you buy a full bath remodel, you'll get a second shower for free and lock in an extra $500 off just for listening to the show. But you need to schedule now at westshorehome.com/fan.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first TD score wager with confidence today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. If you're planning to propose this holiday, we're ready to make creating your engagement ring a warm, welcoming experience. At Shane Company, we're all about your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. Explore the widest selection of diamonds and ring settings ready for you to see in person, or visit us at shaneco.com. You'll have your ring in days, not weeks. Our friendly jewelry consultants don't work on commission. There's never any pressure, just perfect proposals. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable scent boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard. Visit eatandys.com to find the location nearest you. Top your day with a smile.
Let me tell you about my good friend Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. He's from Kansas City, never misses a game, and serves the world's finest frozen custard. Tailgate with a pick six, or grab a freshly made custom treat before or after a game. And tell him Mitch and Andy sent you.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. What's trending?
God dang!
Brought to you by Telly Tire and Auto Centers. Winning starts with a great drive. Since 1942, Telly's certified techs have delivered complete car care with top brand tires and expert auto service. Keep your drive going. Take it to Telly. Visit TellyTire.com today.
Number one on what's trending in Topeka right now, the LCC meeting in the state capitol is taking place. On hand is Chiefs owner Clark Hunt, team president Mark Donovan, numerous others, including media. Bob Fesco is there, keeping an eye on it. The meeting is now in an executive session. The expectation is there will be a vote at some point here very soon to approve a Chiefs Stadium finance deal that will move the Chiefs to the Kansas side of the state line. And then at 3 o'clock today, Governor Laura Kelly is expected to have a special announcement. That will be live here on 96.5 The Fan. That announcement will be that they have approved the stadium financing plan for the Chiefs.
We'll talk about it more coming up in just a few minutes, because obviously the drive will have a lot of that today as well. Chiefs did drop to the Titans 26-9 yesterday, lost Gardner Minshew in the process, but not an ACL tear as previously feared, a tibial plateau fracture, which is significantly less serious and will require no surgery. He's not going to play for the Chiefs again this year, but it does still at least open up the possibility that maybe he could be healthy and back in the backup options for the Chiefs next year as they await Patrick Mahomes' recovery from the ACL tear. They did sign Shane Buechele of the Bills practice squad today. He's been around the organization almost as long as Oladokin. He used to be Oladokin before Oladokin was him. And so he'll be back with the Chiefs this year. See whether or not he'll probably be active coming up on Thursday against the Broncos as a backup quarterback option for them. I still want Travis Kelce to throw a pass in the game on Thursday. Give him one more thing on his final game at Arrowhead Stadium, you know? And one of the final, what do we think, 4 years? So what do we think we got left? 32 games at Arrowhead Stadium? What's the number count on this? Well, not including playoffs. Maybe 40 games at Arrowhead Stadium? Countdown's on. Spec, we were getting an argument yesterday. I still think they'll call the new one New Arrowhead Stadium. What do you think? I think they'll call it
With
New
the
Arrowhead.
sponsor, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Brought to you by Bud Light or whatever. I don't, like.
Oh, it'll definitely still be Arrowhead.
I think they'll still call it Arrowhead, despite the fact that.
Yeah, but they're not going to call it New Arrowhead. Fans
I think they will for like a year.
Fans are like, they're on the side of the building, it's not going to say
Again,
New
not
Arrowhead.
That, but I think they'll call it that. It'll say Arrowhead on it, but they'll out loud. The Chiefs will out loud say New Arrowhead.
I think we will. We will all say, yeah, they're playing at New Arrowhead.
It was New Yankee Stadium for like 3 years.
But then it's not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah, it phased itself out.
So if you're just saying, like, from a fan base perspective, yeah, we're going to call it New Arrowhead for a while. Sure, it's just the side of the building's not going to say New Arrowhead.
No, from an announcement perspective in those things.
Yeah, I think that's fair. At college basketball tonight in Lawrence, KU taking on Davidson. The Missouri Tigers bragging rights game taking place on the other side of Missouri as they take on number 18 Illinois. That one at 7 o'clock tonight.
Lastly on what's trending, Bobby Petrino set to become the new offensive coordinator for Bill Belichick over at North Carolina. I guess. I don't know what to think about that move other than they both have a type, maybe. We'll see. It seems like such a weird move, and he's 64 years old. Bill Belichick is in his mid-70s, so not exactly trying to, like, inject youth into that program is what I would say, other than in their dating life.
One final bit of news that just came out from Adam Schefter. We all saw Lamar Jackson leave last night's game.
Yeah.
He has a serious contusion to his back, considered day to day, according to John Harbaugh. Also, the NFL just suspended Chargers linebacker Denzel Perryman 2 games for what is called repeated violations of playing rules intended to protect the health and safety of players. So, repeat violator. We said the Chargers kind of a dirty team, and happened during the Cowboys game, and he is now out the final 2 games for the Chargers, and they're trying to win the division.
I will say the state of Missouri, as we continue to await official announcement at 3 o'clock on the stadium move, although it's happening. Missouri is terrible at keeping NFL teams. right? Like all-time bad, like New York Jets level ineptitude. They have lost the Rams twice, or the Cardinals, I guess, to Arizona, then the Rams, and now the Chiefs. Like, Missouri, are you trying to keep an NFL team in your state or no? You just giving up hope on that front?
I'll just say, I just want to, for the record, since you guys all think I'm a hater, the guy on the Missouri side of the state line brought up the history of Missouri losing teams. Not me.
Missouri,
just saying.
Kansas, and look, if I want to take a shot, I'd be like, congratulations on Kansas for finally having a professional sports team.
Congratulations accepted.
But it's like, and I don't even like, that's mostly just joking for the purpose of the show. Genuinely, Missouri, you got to look at yourself in the mirror here. Your inability, because just to be clear, states want NFL teams. They've been very much so. Some states have multiple. It's a good thing for your state typically to have an NFL team. Let's just keep it to the NFL for now.
Yeah.
The hell you keep letting them all leave? You keep losing, and St. Louis can't even keep them in their metro area. Like, so at least I'll give Missouri at this time. At least you didn't lose them to the area. You lost them in the state, but you didn't lose them in the area. Like, can you try to keep one NFL team?
Yeah, and there's a lot of factors. And Stan Kroenke screwed over St. Louis in a massive, massive way. I mean, their fans were, my understanding is they were ready actually to give them what they wanted stadium-wise in Missouri, and he didn't.
He was always
and he packed his bags up for LA. So I think that one was a little bit different.
Circumstances,
but sure. I mean, I think clearly in some cases it's just the issue of public finance stadiums. The other part is at times who is in leadership at the time of these crucial decisions for your city and for your metro area, and what kind of leadership are you getting at that given moment? Yep. And in this case, we're seeing it play out a little bit on the Kansas side of the state line and the Missouri side of the state line again with this. So there are consequences not only to direct ballot measures for public financing. There's consequences to any election, and some of that plays out when it comes time to keep teams and not keep teams. And then there's just still the unfortunate reality of what we've allowed to have happen for many, many years, which is public finance stadiums. And one region's not willing to do it, another will. And in this case, luckily, we're talking about the same region. We're talking about the same metro area. And Missouri and Jackson County even, yes, they have a plan in place to renovate Arrowhead, but it all came together far too late. And even when the plan, well, I'm talking about like Phil Lavoda running out a press conference with visual aids and saying, well, we're not going to tell you how much we're giving because we don't want Kansas to find out. Like as if there was still an opportunity in 48 hours before. It was already done.
Look, for the obvious reasons, it's going to be weird. And I think they lose a lot with this. Like from a city impact standard, you might get some nice things. You might get a Final Four, or you might get a Super Bowl, even though that's a longer shot. You might get some real things. You might get better concerts or whatever you might want. Those things can be impactful to the city. Yeah. I think you lose some of your home field advantage. Not all of it, because I still think the fans make the venue. I think you will isolate some fans financially. I think there are real downsides. And I've said this before. I also think billionaires should pay for their own stadium. Like, obviously. I think most people do. And I think that hurt Missouri's chances of maintaining it, because Kansas, to this point, had never had an NFL team, was more willing to publicly finance a stadium, where the thirst in Missouri, having paid for it for the last 50 years, was not as interested in paying for it anymore. That's not surprising to me. And I do think I would much prefer that Clark pay for his own building. But if someone's going to pay for it for him, he's going to take that money. That's just the reality of it. It's the reality of most teams. It's the exact same thing that I think is going to happen in Chicago.
The LCC meeting is now out of executive session in Topeka. As soon as they actually start talking about the Chiefs proposal or about to take a vote, if it happens before we get off the air, we will go out there. If not, certainly Carrington and Rob will have you guys with great coverage from 2 to 6 tonight, including Laura Kelly's press conference at 3. So we'll keep an eye on that. Spec is watching the video stream. We've got Bob Fesco out in Topeka right now as well. So as soon as, and it looks like Ty Masterson is speaking now, but just let me know if we get any vote or if they start talking about the Chiefs in particular, and we'll go out there.
They already have the lectern set up.
Yeah.
They have the lectern set up. So it's just the visual for the people on the radio. They have the 3 p.m. special announcement from Laura Kelly that Gold's been teasing. They have the lectern set up and all the cameras and stuff. And on the banners, it says Chiefs in Kansas.
Yeah, let's go out there right now. This is the Legislative Council Committee.
But with that, I think in that regard, I'm going to go ahead and go with a roll call vote. We'll start Vice President Schallenberger, Majority Leader Blasey, Minority Leader Sykes, let's get that mother in. Minority Leader Woodard, Pro Tem Carpenter, Majority Leader Croft,
Aye.
Speaker Hawkins.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It is a unanimous consent and is thereby passed. With that, we've reached the end of the agenda, and we are adjourned.
All right, so what you just heard there was the Kansas LCC just unanimously approved the Star Bond District for the Chiefs. The Chiefs are officially moving to Kansas. Press conference coming up at 3. But what you just heard there was the vote to finalize the financing deal for the stadium to be done and move forward with the Chiefs in Kansas.
Again, it's not...
I mean, historical day in Kansas City sports history.
Well, I understand that there's a time in people in this city who remember Municipal Stadium in the brief time the Chiefs were at it and the Royals played at it. But let's just be honest, that was never designed for them. Arrowhead and Kauffman Stadium were designed for them. That is where everyone's memories of watching these teams are. This is the first new stadium built for either of these teams since the 70s. We've got the KC Current Building and Sporting Stadium. We've had other projects done in this town. But the two biggest sports draws in this town, the Chiefs and the Royals, have had the same buildings for 60 years. It has been a long time, 70 years, been a long time since either of them have considered a new home. So for the Chiefs to be in a new home, to make this official that they will be heading to Kansas, it's a massive deal in the city. Yeah, that was the one I was talking about.
If you're watching on the video stream, I on my laptop, I'm holding up. This was the change in Topeka, in the room that they were in or outside the room that they were in. Chiefs in Kansas, the graphics are already ready and good to go. And so everything was pointing in this direction on Friday, and now it is official. Details and all that, we don't have any of that as far as exactly timeline and renderings. And all, that may or may not be announced later on today. Again, Laura Kelly's going to have a press conference at 3. We don't know if that is something that the Chiefs are going to do on their own separately. My guess is the Chiefs, Cody, will probably do their own stadium unveil type thing versus, announcing the actual move part.
And all the thing, I would guess, but we'll see. Maybe they want to be a part of the Kansas side as well as far as one big announcement together. But it's a huge deal that the Chiefs are moving. I mean, Arrowhead, it's just crazy to think that Arrowhead Stadium, after 70 years, 75 years, by the time probably this stadium is built, will no longer be the home of the Chiefs. It's weird. It's very weird. It's going to feel bizarre for a very long time. Now, maybe you're excited about and I know you are, the state-of-the-art venue that will exist in this region to, go inside of this. But, it is going to be bizarre for the next few years thinking about the end of Arrowhead Stadium and the, 30 games or whatever they have left maybe playing in that building, including a postseason run or two, hopefully inside of there, or multiple inside of there. So, that's it. Chiefs going to Kansas.
Someone was asking, why Mayor Lucas went on Carrington's show on Friday and sounded so confident. Well, he'll have a chance to answer that, I'm sure. Carrington at some point, whether it's today or tomorrow, will try to get the KC Mo mayor on the show, and he'll have a chance to give his reaction to it. The simple answer is politics, I guess, would be why anybody was on Friday still talking with confidence that they saw a chance to keep them. Politics, I guess, would be the easiest way to sum it up.
Trying to make it seem like it was them who was turning down a good deal, not Missouri who fumbled their opportunity to do it. But the Chiefs are officially moving to Kansas. This should not surprise anybody at this point. They're officially going to make that move, and we'll find out exactly what all they have at play coming up at 3. I kind of hope we get some details, but they might just announce that they're moving.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what we're going to get. Again, if you're just tuning in for the first time today, the Kansas LCC meeting began at 1 o'clock, and around 1:44, 1:45 or so, the committee announced that they have unanimously approved the Star Bond District, which is what's required, right? That's the financing mechanism to make this all happen, and that the Chiefs will be moving to Kansas. And at 3 o'clock, Laura Kelly will speak live in Topeka. That'll be carried right here on your home for the Chiefs, 96.5 The Fan, on a day in which the Chiefs are finding a new home, and that'll be across the state line. We don't know if that's 4 years from now, 5 years from now, but that is where this is headed.
You think if the Royals, when they build their new stadium, do you think Frank White's statue will still be there? He had something to
As
do
I
with
told
this.
you, it might get lost in the move, but
think
it might get lost.
Unretire the number.
It might get lost in the move.
Unretire the number?
Unretire the
That's
number.
I don't think you don't unretire the. But
Has any team ever done that other than for somebody who got in like legit legal trouble or something?
I wouldn't unretire. I would not unretire the number. But if that statue just gets lost in the move or accidentally is the one thing that fell off the truck,
Can we
then
get
it
it
fell
for
off
the
the
Cody
truck.
Gold garage sale?
Take him off the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame?
No, spec. What? I know people are upset.
That's fair. I don't think that's unfair.
No, because he's
He
in the Hall of
actively hurt
Fame.
Missouri.
He's in the Hall of Fame for his playing career, not because of being the county executive.
Yeah, but you're
I'm
also
not defending
in the Hall
him,
of Fame
but
for being a great Missourian, and I would say that his actions directly led to what could happen in the next 60 to 90 days.
Oh, he deserves. They did not get to retain.
He
either
deserves a huge chunk of the blame, 100%. I'm not a believer, and when somebody screwed up the plans for the stadium, sure. This isn't somebody that's going to prison or anything like that. This idea, though, that you lose your Hall of Fame status, to me, is not how I would operate. I think that's a dangerous, slippery slope to move forward.
He can still be in the Royals Hall of Fame, but you don't have to put a statue up.
Oh, as I said, that can get lost. That can get lost.
You know, like you can.
Actually, Kansas should put his statue up and thank him.
Jeez.
Isn't that like the...
Governor Kelly should actually, in her speech today, be like, I'd like to personally thank Frank White
he's definitely
for everything he made possible for this announcement today. Because it was, obviously, the Star Bond stuff all happened pretty quick after the Jackson County vote failed to pass. And so all of that led to it. Again, it's more than one thing. It is certainly Frank White. It is certainly people's disinterest in funding public stadiums for billionaires. It is certainly the plan the Chiefs and Royals put out publicly that did not scratch the itch of many of the voters. It is partially, I don't think the Chiefs even cared to put together a plan that did this. It is partially because Clark Hunt has openly said he would like a dome and a Super Bowl and the things that would exist. It's a billion different reasons that existed that led us to this moment. Certainly part of it. I don't know. You got to melt the statue down. I'm just asking if it makes it. That's all.
No, he shoulders a huge bit of the blame for sure. Someone says, "How come the Chiefs haven't officially announced it?" Because the press conference for the special announcement's not till 3. They're gonna announce it at the same time as state and business together. That's why. But this action by this committee approves the financing mechanism. So it's done. Guys, they're going to Kansas.
There's not anyone still left here thinking that there's some Hail Mary
I don't
play,
think
is
so.
there? They're all at a meeting together. There's billboard signs up that say Chiefs in Kansas.
Clark Hunt was in Topeka, guys. The vote happened. The vote happened. It's done.
Other than to have meetings like this, Clark Hunt doesn't just randomly pop into Topeka for fun. He will more now for other official business that his team is now located in Kansas. Mm-hmm. So weird. He spends most of his life living in Dallas. He has a team in Missouri for the longest time, and now it's in Kansas, and now no more Arrowhead. And look, this is not shocking news to anybody. A businessman made a business decision. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to laud Clark for taking care of the franchise and a businessman made a business decision to make more money. That's not I don't even think that's up for debate for the most part. This wasn't about legacy or honor or things he wanted. He wanted more money for his franchise, for his family, for whatever.
Well, they are a business.
And they're a big business who decided and made a business decision. We want, and it'd be nice in an idyllic world for people to not always work on a business interest, but that's what this is, and it's a huge business. And so that's how this went down. I mean, it's not surprising outside of there. I still don't understand why Levada and Q and all these people were talking on Friday like there was still some miracle cure that was going to get the Chiefs on the Missouri side. That's never going to make
my
sense.
guess is what we'll hear later on today, if in fact the Mayor Q ends up having a press conference, you're going to, much like Phil Levada on Friday, you're going to hear more of what they did, of course, right, to keep the teams and put a little bit more of the, hey, they left us, we didn't leave them, right, which is true, but there's going to be the political spin on that, and that's fair. That happens on any side of an issue like this. That's the expectation. I thought they were setting the table for that on Friday. But as you said, what I didn't understand was why the mayor was so adamant that there was not going to be an announcement today when in fact there's going to be an announcement today.
Again, he said it with I would say a crazy amount of gusto.
And why are you hearing a lot of people talking? Because you got a peacock if you want to steal something. That's the idea. But I'm actually not concerned. I'm sitting here fairly comfortable with where we are, the relationships we have, the negotiations we have. But I will say who will make the news and who will break the news. It ain't going to sneak up on Twitter or on this 7 a.m. hour of a radio show. It's going to be something that you see actually firmly announced, and you will not see that on Monday.
Announcement at 3.
Vote already happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, their renovation plan for Arrowhead was one of the worst renovation plans I've ever seen. So I guess in this case, fine. It was awful. Awful. They legitimately threw a turf field in between Kaufman and Arrowhead, threw up a canopy, and said, y'all good? I'm sorry, that cost $800 million? The hell am I paying for? Like, what is this plan? Like, I just think that they would have taken the money and done the renovation if people were just going to give them the money for free, to not do a renovation that would have actually held up. Because in the end, whether Arrowhead, and this is the one thing I would say about the new stadium is, whether Arrowhead got the renovation money or not, its future in Kansas City as a stadium that existed forever was, I thought it had a clock no matter what, didn't you? Like, Arrowhead's clock might have been 20 years now, had they approved a renovation plan. But I still thought, Gold, there was a clock. As in, Arrowhead was never going to exist forever the way I think Lambeau might exist forever. And so that part always adds a challenge as well. But, yeah, Kansas City Chiefs are going to be playing in a new stadium. We'll get more details coming up at 3. Maybe they'll give us some details on how long they expect the stadium project to last, how long they, when they plan to be in their new home, and all the things that kind of come with it. Is the animosity and the feeling of living at Arrowhead is going to feel kind of weird for these next few years.
Plenty more coverage coming up during the drive with CDOT and Rob. You mentioned the press conference. Plenty more reaction during their show. We're back at it tomorrow. Hope you guys have a good rest of the day. Cody and Gold, 10 to 2 tomorrow right here on